If you're trying to make money online in 2026, your problem probably isn't lack of opportunity, it's lack of direction. You're trying YouTube, affiliate links, digital products, AI tools, freelancing, and somehow still feeling stuck. So in this video, I'll show you 3 clear paths: fast cash, long-term income, and building a real online business. By the end, you'll know exactly which path fits you and the first offer you can create this week. Let's get into it. I want to show you the 3 things that quietly end beginners, because avoiding these alone can save you months. First, high-risk trading as your starting plan. If you're new, this isn't a skill. This is gambling with better branding. Second, done-for-you online businesses, where someone builds everything for you and you just collect passive income. Sounds good because it removes responsibility, which is exactly why it usually doesn't work. And third, surveys or micro tasks as your main plan. Can you make a little extra? Sure. Can you build a real income from it? Almost never. So here's the shift. The stuff that actually works right now isn't complicated. It's just not flashy. In a minute, I'll show you a beginner offer you can literally send today to start getting replies, even with 0 experience. But first, this is where most people get their first client and where they usually mess it up. Let me show you exactly how this turns into something people will actually pay for. You decide you want to make money online. You watch a few videos, you get excited. You pick something, maybe editing, maybe drop shipping, maybe something else. You try it for a few days, nothing really happens, so you switch. Then you switch again. And after a few weeks, you've done a lot, but you've made nothing. That's the loop most people are stuck in. Not because nothing works, but because they never stay long enough for anything to work. And the way out of that loop is what I call lane 1. This is where you focus on momentum. Not passive income, not perfection, momentum. Getting your first client, your first payment, proof that this is real. And one of the easiest ways to do that right now is short form video editing. Not cinematic editing, not Hollywood level production. I'm talking clean cuts, subtitles, simple transitions, basic sound, and pacing that actually keeps attention. Because right now, there are thousands of creators and businesses producing content, especially with AI. And most of it still needs a human to make it watchable. So instead of trying to sell something vague like viral edits, you make your offer simple and useful. Something like, I'll deliver 10 clean, high retention short videos per week, optimized for watch time. That's it. Now, you're not trying to impress, you're solving a problem. And that's what gets you paid. If you're starting from 0, here's what you do. You pick one editing tool. You recreate 10 viral videos in your niche. Not to post, just to practice. Then, turn those into a simple 60-second portfolio. Most people think they need a website, a logo, testimonials. You don't. You just need one clean video. A simple montage of your edits goes a long way. Quick cuts, captions, maybe a bit of music, and one line at the beginning, something like short form video editor focused on retention and clean, high-performing content. That's it. Now, you've got something that you can send. No brand, no website, just proof you can do good work. Because clients aren't asking, is this person perfect? They're asking, can this person solve my problem? And if your video shows that clearly, even in a simple way, that's enough to start conversations. That's all you need in the beginning. Now, this is where things start to change, because this is where you stop getting paid for doing tasks and start getting paid for fixing problems. Let me show you what that actually looks like. Imagine a small business, let's say a local gym. They're getting messages every single day. What are your prices? Do you have a free trial? What time do you open? Same questions over and over again. And here's the problem. Every time they don't reply fast enough, they lose that person. Not later, right there. Now, most people would try to sell them something complicated like AI system, automation funnel, custom chatbot, and the business immediately checks out. To them, it's too technical and it's too confusing. But someone else comes in and says something simple like, I can set up a system that replies instantly to your most common questions, captures new leads, and makes sure you don't lose people in your DMs. That's it. Now, suddenly it makes sense, because for that business, this isn't a nice to have. This is more leads captured, faster responses, more people walking through the door. They're not thinking, is this worth 200 bucks? They're thinking, how many customers am I losing without this? And that's lane 2. You're not selling a tool, you're selling a result. Something that either makes them money or stops them from losing it. Now, here's where this gets even more interesting, because this doesn't just apply to automation. It applies to content too. Right now, brands are spending money on ads that don't work. They're either too polished, too perfect, or too obvious, or a combination of all three. People scroll past them instantly. But when something feels real, simple, almost like it wasn't even meant to be an ad, people actually watch. So instead of saying, I create content, you say, I create short-form videos that brands can use as ads that don't feel like ads, so they get more conversions. Now you're not just creating content, you're improving performance. And once brands start using your content in ads, this is where things level up, because now they want usage rights. 30 days, 60 days, even longer. Same video, more value, higher price. And if you're thinking, I don't want to show my face, you don't have to. There are other options like hands-only demos, screen recordings, voiceovers, simple walkthroughs. You pick and choose what works for you. What matters is not perfection, it's that it feels real. And this is a shift most people miss. They try to sell skills instead of selling outcomes. When you understand this, everything changes. Your offers get clearer, your pricing goes up, and people actually start saying yes. And this next step is where most people either level up or they stay stuck doing the same thing for years. This is where you stop chasing money and you start building something that keeps paying you. Your entire situation starts to shift. Fast forward 6 months, you picked one lane, you stuck with it, you got your first few wins, a few clients, a few payments, proof that this really works. Now you have a choice. You can keep doing what you're doing, trading time for money, or you can start building something that works for you. This is lane 3, where you start building assets. Because the people who actually win long term aren't just working, they're building things that keep paying them, even when they're not actively working. Think about it. Instead of finding a new client every week, sending messages every day, starting from zero, every single month, you start building something that compounds. A channel, a brand, a system. And yeah, YouTube is one of the best examples of this right now, because one video done properly can keep bringing in views, subscribers, and opportunities over and over again. But here's the part most people miss. This only works if you treat it like an asset, not like a shortcut. Because platforms are getting stricter. They don't reward spam anymore. They don't reward lazy uploads. They reward clear thinking, original ideas, real value. So if you're using AI, that's fine, but AI isn't the advantage. Your thinking is, your structure, your examples. That's what actually makes the content work. That's what separates channels that grow from channels that disappear. And when you start doing this properly, something changes. You stop asking, how do I make money this week? And you start asking, how do I build something that pays me next month, next year, and beyond? That's leverage. So let's bring this together. At this point, you don't need more ideas. You need to pick one lane and stick with it long enough to get paid, because that's where everything changes. Lane 1 gets you your first win. Lane 2 turns that into real income. And lane 3 is how you stop starting over and actually build something that lasts. But most people won't do this. They watch this video, feel motivated for a day, and then go right back to scrolling and switching. Don't do that. Pick your lane and execute. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, okay, but which one actually fits me? That's exactly why I put together the 21 Faceless Business Models Generating Real Income Guide. It shows you exactly which path fits you based on your time, skills, and how fast you want to get paid. So instead of guessing, you just pick one and go. You can download it for free in the description below. And if you want the exact templates, offers, and step-by-step help to land your first client, that's inside my community. I put the link in the description if you want to check it out. But if you're not done yet and you want a simple breakdown of how to go from zero to your first consistent daily income, click this video right here. That's your next step. I'll see you there.